I'm a winner. You know the time, I'm a winner. I want you to know I'm innocent. Oh, we're winning right now, you be. Say we're winning right now. Me forget a trophy to what me living right now.
We visited Agent Sasco in his brand new studio, where he played for us several tracks from his new album to be released next month.
Y'all born clean every man, break stop, belly flat like the screen for me new deck stop. When you talk about junk, not the chunk, more bumper than the joke, them over the rest stop.
Hi Sasco.
Hey.
It's nice to see you again.
Yeah man, respect, likewise.
1 year after you came to see us in Prague and after a concert. How have you been since then?
Good vibes. I've been working on this album. Before that I was finishing my studio in order to start work on the album. So the studio was done pretty much like November last year, or December really. And so I've been working since then on this new project, and I'm pretty much done now. We're going through mixes and what have you.
How is it to have your own studio in your own house? How does it feel?
Man, incredible. I mean, I couldn't imagine exactly, you know, how significantly it would change my just approach to the creative process and the things that it's enabling me to do. And you know, whenever you feel to create, you can. You know, you don't have to call and book the time. You don't have to go anywhere. I'm in there in my pajamas and you know, things like that. So it's incredible, and I'm excited about you know, the kind of exploration I'll be able to do. You know, having the space, and so far so good.
So all the ladies them in at the place, them looking fine. We look to see them in the front room with them a wine. Boy, put your hand in the air.
In the past year, you also did, except for the studio, you did a few really good songs.
Thank you.
For example, Winning. I've seen it still has good feedback from the people.
Yeah, it's growing, and also Winning will be featured on this album as well. And so, you know, it's still growing, you know, video and even like in the dancehall, like it's really starting to become one of the staple signature songs, one of the more requested songs in the dance. So that's good.
Okay. Before you tell me about the new album, I have to ask about Skyscraper Rhythm, because it's been on our playlist for a while.
Oh yeah, man, wicked. It Skyscraper Rhythm. I mean, when Richie Stevens reached out to me, and you know, like he sent the rhythm, it reminded me of, you know, the days of, you know, when I just started out going to the studios in like late 90s, early 2000s, them time there, you know, when it was 24 track and it just had that warmth to it. So, you know, it was a good vibe to be on that rhythm. And then of course, recording a song with one of my all-time favorites, if not my favorite of all time, Professor Nuts, you know, is a big deal for me. So, you know, it's a good project. What can I say? We were really in there, and like I said, Professor Nuts is one of the people who, as far as I can remember, maybe the first artist that had me starting to admire the art form of putting words together in a sort of you know, very cohesive way, in a storytelling kind of format. So it was good to record with him.
When we talk about your favorites, I have to ask about Buju, because many people also compare you to him, because you two have similar voices, and you also did this this song for BBC session once, which was really nice. So tell me about it.
So Buju definitely is one of my influences. So let me just list them out for you. So it's Professor Nuts from them time there, and like people like Lieutenant Stitchy, Papa San, and then, you know, coming up the lines, Buju, definitely when Buju came out, Shabba, Spragga Benz, Bounty Killer in like high school years, and then, you know, the more I became a student of the music, it started to be more about the art form itself and less about the individuals. So, you know, I just tried to learn as much as I could from anywhere. You know, even I try to get to shows that I'm performing. Like, let's say there are many artists on the show, even, you know, young artists who haven't made, you know, any real impact yet. I like to get there and you know, observe and see what I can learn from them as well. So, you know, it's more of a, like I say, is a student of the art form as opposed to individual. But definitely Buju has been a significant influence. And Buju also was a part of my formation in terms of when I just started my career. Like Buju actually released my first record. Like the first time I saw my name on a vinyl, it was for Gargamel Music, a song called Revamp. I was still a student at that time, you know. And then of course we were with the same management for a while, and I toured with him, and you know, like he took time out to share some, you know, just so much information and try to actively teach me a lot of things. So of course it's
so we might maybe see some collaboration when he
yeah, no, you're jumping the gun now. We don't know. I mean, you know, we don't know. But you know, of course, for now, I would just be too happy to see him, you know, return and get back to, you know, being Gargamel, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've been talking about preparing some new stuff. You're working on new album?
Yes. So I might play a few tracks, but we're looking for a release this summer. And yeah, like I said, right now we're, you know, just about fine-tuning mixes and what have you. So the bulk of the work is done. And I'm very happy with what we got, and, you know, excited about, you know, planning, you know, music videos and things like that. Actually, I have a video already shot and pretty much sitting there waiting for, you know, for when we think is you know, a good time to release it. You know, in the scheme of all the other things that we're doing. So yeah, it's a lot of good stuff, and I'm really excited about it.
Okay, and which direction is the album going? Is it like reggaetivity more, or back to the dancehall roots?
I think it's a mixture of, you know, what we could consider my my foundation musically, so that, you know, that being dancehall, and then also, you know, of course, a little reggae is mixed in there, but more importantly, we also you know, explored fusing all of that together and trying to establish even a new sound, which is different, I think. So you know, I think people will appreciate it. Yeah.
Okay. We've been also watching your social media, and you've had some interesting guests in the studio. Can you tell us some of the names?
Well, yeah, since I come into the space, I've been, you know, having a couple of my colleagues come through, and, you know, it's just been a good vibe, you know. So from like, well, I'll speak of first album-wise, Kabaka Pyramid came through. J Island, who is also on a single, So Blessed, it's out, by the way. I almost said a name that I didn't want to say, so. Well, Wayne Marshall, my brethren, you know, Chevron, come through. So these are the people who have worked on the album. And then Protege in a different kind of way, because he's more of a artist manager in this album situation, because he was kind enough to, you know, have Savannah come through and put some wicked vocals down. So Savannah was there as well. And then, like, you know, Jonah Gang came through. He's not on the album. And Chronix, who is not on the album. And who else, you know, who else come? Kes Namdi was here, not on the album. And Tash Alexander, Chris Martin, not on the album. Romain Verga, not on the album. Who else again? Wow, Naomi Cowan, not on the album.
That's some big names.
Yeah. So yeah, we've been with. Oh, Stoneboy. Stoneboy was here. He's on the album. Cardinal Official is on the album, but you know, he recorded his part elsewhere. So yeah, we've been getting quite a bit of traffic, I must say.
I can see.
Good vibes, yeah.
Some of the names you mentioned, it's really good lyricist as well. Do you write all of the lyrics, or did you ask some of the people you had here for?
So for the most part, the featured artists wrote their bits. And then in terms of my own writing, like I write a bulk of my material, but on this particular project, like Siobhan and Mackie and also came through Wayne Marshall as well, and had a more collective approach to some of the writing.
Nice.
Who else again was here? Oh, Professor Nuts came through, but that was for a totally different thing. But yeah, Nuts was also here, which is a big deal to me. I mean, it's like what every kid has heard sometime before: follow your dreams and dreams come true and things like that. So for me to have a studio, my own studio, and have Professor Nuts in there, like DJing, it's ridiculous. Like I used to get in trouble for staying at the bus stop too long, listening to Professor Nuts tapes, because I would get to the bus stop and there would be some cassette man there playing a Professor Nuts stage show or whatever, and I'd stand and I'd listen and I make sure that I don't leave until I hear the song or the part of the tape that I heard when I just got there. So that would mean that I'd hear the whole thing, and that usually means if it's a 90 minutes cassette, you wasted as far as my parents would be concerned. 90 minutes down at the bus stop when you should be heading home. So yeah, so to have Professor Nuts, in my own studio so it's when I go back to that time and think about what the reality was then and that now, it really says to me that it can happen, like whatever, no matter how outlandish and incredibly impossible things might seem in whatever reality it is now, you never know. Yeah.
Can you tell us when will be the album released, or do you have a name for it as well?
Well, so we definitely have a title for the album, which based on timeline-wise, going to release. I don't really want to say just yet what the title is, but we're looking for a release in the summer, be it June, July, or August, somewhere in there. We'll be well ready before then, so my goal is to have everything mixed and paperwork and everything done and ready to go, and just release on as a matter of strategy rather than,
Okay.
And the beauty of having it be an independent project is I get to make those decisions. Well, I be in the team, but ultimately it's what we feel is best, based on everything else that's happening.
So when are you planning on promoting the album, going on tour?
So we'll be in the States this summer. Sadly, I don't think we'll be in Europe this summer, but maybe the fall or definitely next summer.
Okay.
And then, outside of that, we'll be doing a lot of work in terms of, getting the visuals done for I want to have videos for more than half this album, and going about it in a very deliberate and strategic way, and more importantly, making sure that no matter what we're doing, quality is the cornerstone of it. So it's not a matter of rushing things or So yeah, we'll be committed to this project in a very serious way, and we'll be doing some different kind of activities around it. I don't want to say too much yet, but it should be interesting. Yeah.
Sounds big. There is definitely something to look forward to.
Yeah, man.
Okay, we are here in Jamaica. I would like to know some things about Jamaica from people coming from here, like about the food culture and many other things which necessarily come up to your mind when you say Jamaica.
All right, so from a Jamaica Tourist Board perspective, of course, there is beach and sunshine and wonderful vegetation, mountain views, of course, music and that culture. We all know, so there's all of that vibe.
Do you have some favorite place where you go?
Well, yeah, if I'm chilling in Jamaica, most people know me will say at home, so I like to stay home. I'm the hills are cool, and I like my gardening and things like that. So I spend a lot of time relaxing at home. And then outside of that, Portland is a parish I love very much because it's more untouched, if you wanna call it that. You know, it's less commercialized and just, you know, you really feel like you're experiencing, you know, just nature and you know, more paradise in a very natural way, you know. Outside of that, the kids love to, whatever hotel there is they grade the hotels based on the quality of the water slide. So forget everything else. They want to know how good the slide is. So, you know, that's their bit. But
sure, yeah,
I'm also, well, we have also been trying to be a little bit more deliberate in terms of experience in Jamaica. Because, you know, I find that I haven't done much exploration. Like, I'm seeing pictures on you know, the net and going, where is this? And it's Jamaica, it's right here, but I've never seen that. So I'm doing a little bit more of that as well, like, you know, trying to find some of those spots.
Okay. And about the food, it seems that you promote a healthy lifestyle. You have a garden, many trees in there.
Yeah, but to tell you the truth, the food I mean, like most, I don't know healthy could have qualified. Oxtail and rice and peas, but I don't know that. And brown stew chicken, and like that's, you know, the thing that we really love. But of course, when you talk about the fruits now, I love sauce-up juice, which, you know, that's very healthy. And sauce-up has a myriad of benefits I get to understand, but it tastes it's nice, so that works. Yeah, like, you know, plantains and you know, like green bananas and everything that we grow, breadfruit and ackee and all of that good stuff. Yeah, put it this way, Jamaica is the kind of place where no matter what your palate is like, if you're a vegetarian, if you like spicy foods, if you don't like, you know, whatever it is, you know, food, I think we do food right in Jamaica, I believe so.
I think so.
There you go.
We sail on with pilot and we driver, clean out people, turn on no lighter, here rock that and go, so we don't worry about bad mind people, and them a chance me no matter about.
What about the rest of the year for you? You are still finishing the album?
Yes, album works will take me up to no later than April, I'm figuring, and then, you know, after that is then get into album release mode, which takes us to the summer. And then after that is album promo and post-release mode, which is, you know, all of that. So that's what my year is gonna be looking like. And then outside of that, building the studio was also in aid of me doing more producing and writing and things like that, you know, for others. And so even while the album is out and I'm doing, you know, that, I'll be working on other projects for other people, you know, as much as I can manage and you know, give it the sort of attention that it needs and not just be like some secondary thing. Like, I really want to commit to that as well.
Do you have some new talents, some new artists?
I'm scouting. As a matter of fact, at 1 I should be meeting one here today to hear, you know, what's up, if it's good or otherwise.
I see. I see. Okay, well, thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for welcoming us at your home. Where should the people
follow you? Check. So massive, you can find me at Agent Sasco on Instagram and Twitter. That's AGENT SASCO. Facebook is Assassin, aka Agent Sasco, something like that. I think. Well, if you Google it, it come up. That's how we find it. And then, of course, we're rebuilding the website, which is www.agentsasco.com. New album forward in this year, and the title of the album is, can't tell you yet. Listen out.
Okay, watch out for the album, and we will tell you more soon.
Yeah, man, respect.
Learn from the else, turn them in a medal in a trophy and bells. Every day you see we with the pan on next level. Break records like we cracking eggshells, and every single ounce of effort we expel. It's all about progress, cause we have to excel. I watch them looking like so.